Yeah, it's been a very busy day here. I interviewed Dr. John Torres. He's an NBC News medical correspondent, and he told me about some new medicines in the works to treat the sickest patients with the coronavirus. I'm going to have that story coming up in a few minutes, but first I'll send it back to you both.
Okay, Janelle, Dr. Torres is very helpful for us here. Let's get to the headlines at this hour. You might have received that text alert issued late today in Santa Clara County. Bottom line, stay at home. The virus is probably more prevalent than we think. That's according to health officials who say the virus has likely been around Santa Clara County since December. 20 people in that county have now died from COVID-19.
We believe the only tool that we have that is really working is social distancing.
Now, this is the Bay Area's most populated county. Here's that emergency alert like the one we get during Amber Alerts. This is what was issued just a short while ago, emphasizing how important it is to stay at home. That means limited outings, even for groceries.
I heard it on my phone. Okay, here's a look at the latest Bay Area numbers. More than 1,600 cases in Santa Clara County, 574. Contra Costa County seeing a jump with 147 cases. That's 40 more than just yesterday.
Now, we want to put things into perspective here. Here are the cases in California compared to the Bay Area per day. You can see the left of your screen is the beginning of the month, and then all the way to 326. That's March 26th. As of yesterday, more than 3,000 cases statewide. That's in orange. And then the Bay Area there, that's in yellow, the Bay Area there, about 1,300. We always want to note about 80% of us can recover at home by self-isolating.
So the question, Raj, is what's going to happen this weekend? Are we going to stay home, or is it going to be like last weekend when thousands of people ignored those orders to shelter at home and instead hit the parks and the beaches en masse?
Oh, we're all learning together. This time around, I think the rain might be a natural deterrent, but rain or shine, stay at home. NBC Bay Area's Christy Smith joins us in San Francisco, right there near the Marina Green. Christy.
Well, you know, just 5 days ago, we were out here watching people work out here despite a sign that said it was closed. Well, they've certainly ramped things up here with yellow tape and fencing to get the point across that it really is closed. The parking lot at the Marina Green is closed too, and so are a number of others, all with the message to help stop the spread. At Ocean Beach and near the beach chalet, the signs and barriers are up. If you were planning to drive to the beach, change your plans.
If you are trying to go to Baker Beach or Ocean Beach or Crissy Field, the parking will not be available. And we will be monitoring the neighborhood to make sure that there isn't an influx of vehicles.
San Francisco Mayor London Breed is encouraging people to go out for exercise, but do it closer to home and farther away from other people. Maintain that 6-foot distance. Last weekend, too many people didn't.
Other places have chosen to just close parks and other places down. We don't want to get to that place, but if we see more people playing in basketball courts, if we see more people playing volleyball.
She says if this doesn't work, they may have no choice. The police chief added a plea for everyone to use common sense.
We'll be out this weekend in some of the places where we've had issues with gatherings.
The National Park Service announced parking lot closures too. Near Stinson Beach, someone posted signs last weekend after the town was inundated. And the San Mateo County DA says if we can't persuade people, they may prosecute them.
If, though, the group says, or part of the group says, no, this is a beach, it's public area, I'm not going home, no. We have to go to enforcement of the law, and they could get cited and end up charged in court with a misdemeanor.
Now, of course, the goal is not to do that, not go in with a hammer, but to persuade people to comply. And again, except for structures like this applies to parking lots. And again, it starts this weekend, but it is ongoing. Reporting live in San Francisco, Christy Smith, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, Christy, we do see some limited traffic behind you, which is encouraging. Now, social distancing not working at parks in the East Bay. The Regional Park District announced a new round of closures beginning today. That includes Castle Rock Recreation Area and the Sun Regional Wilderness.
Well, no more evictions until June. Today, Governor Newsom announced a statewide order banning evictions for renters impacted by the coronavirus. The order effective today. It prohibits landlords from evicting tenants for not paying rent because of the current crisis. It also stops enforcement from the courts.
So for tenants through May 31st, there will be no eviction proceedings. There'll be no enforcement as it relates to your inability to pay for COVID-19.
I think a lot of us were incredibly disappointed by the governor's announcement. It is not an eviction moratorium.
That's tenant rights attorney Jackie Zaneri. She says the governor's order doesn't go far enough. She claims it misleads tenants into thinking they'll have more time to pay the rent. The governor's order lasts through May 31st.
Help is here. Late today, President Trump approved and signed the largest economic rescue package in U.S. history. $2.2 trillion. Trillion with a T. The House passed the stimulus package this morning, and then the president signed it. The bill includes billions of dollars for hospitals and small businesses. It also funds those $1,200 and $2,400 checks that the president has been talking about.
I want to thank Republicans and Democrats for coming together, setting aside their differences, and putting America first.
Here's how House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the Bay Area directly will benefit. Transit agencies, including BART, will get more than $1 billion to split up. And those transit agencies, as you probably know, have lost up to 90% of their ridership. SFO will get more than $250 million in aid, and $11 million will be allocated to help the homeless in San Francisco. So when will you get that money, and just how much? On our website, we've posted a stimulus calculator to help you determine your payout based on your 2018 or 2019 tax return. That's how it's going to be done, whichever is your most recent filing. You can find that calculator. You can see it there. You can find it on our website, NBCBayArea.com.
Okay, you're starting to run low on bread, eggs, toilet paper again. You're probably going to join countless other people this weekend who have no choice but to go to the local grocery store, try to stock up again. So what's the best way to get your shopping done without increasing the risk of catching the coronavirus? NBC Bay Area's Melissa Colorado joins us from Pleasant Hill with a few ideas. Melissa, people are worried. You see them in the store all the time with the gloves and the masks on and wiping their carts down.
Yeah, we've got panic. There's no reason to hoard. The owner of this grocery outlet here in Pleasant Hill says every single morning the trucks are coming in packed with produce, packed with supplies. But one thing experts are recommending when you're out shopping and you're handling carts just like this one, be sure to bring some sanitizing wipes with you. Wipe it all down, especially the handle area.
We got lots of eggs in today. We got water.
It's showtime at the grocery outlet in Pleasant Hill, where twice a day, owner Jason Olson gives his shoppers a behind-the-shelves look at what shipments are coming in.
So here we go, folks. The live update on the news. We have Kleenex.
And what products they're running low on.
So if you do desperately need eggs, I do have a little bit this morning. They won't be here this afternoon, but I do have a lot coming in tomorrow, right? So don't make a special trip just for eggs.
It's one of the many ways grocery stores in the Bay Area are adapting to the strange new normal. At this Trader Joe's in Emeryville, shoppers wait 6 feet apart until they're allowed in by staffers who are manning the door and allowing a number of customers at a time. At this Costco in Novato, yes, they're still seeing lines.
And the biggest message I have is don't panic, right? We've got product.
Olson advises people to call their local grocery store and find out when the slow times are. If you see a crowded aisle, skip it or wait for people to leave. If possible, have one person in the family handle the grocery shopping so there's less people inside the store. Pick long-lasting foods so you can limit your shopping trips. And don't forget to thank the grocery employees.
And that's what keeps me pumped up and motivated, because I feel like, hey, I am giving back to my community and we're all going to get through this.
And medical experts warn against using cash when you pay. If you can, use a credit card or a debit card, and don't forget to wipe that down as well. That's the latest here in Pleasant Hill. I'm Melissa Colorado, NBC Bay Area News.
Where would we be without all those people working at the grocery store? Thank you, Melissa. Well, a new temporary shelter for the homeless in the city. About an hour ago, Mayor Breed announced they will open up Moscone Center for some of the homeless. It's an effort to continue social distancing in shelters. The new beds will be at Moscone West. Mayor Breed says the city has 300 hotel rooms and another 3,000 will become available next week to help reduce overcrowding at hospitals and shelters.
We are happy to report this. A lot more progress when it comes to testing. A portable test that takes just minutes to show you the result. The company who developed it right here in the Bay Area, and they just got the green light. Our business and tech reporter Scott Budman broke the story on Twitter and joins us now in Santa Clara. Scott, this is big news.
Yeah, it's getting national news, Raj. You're right. We're talking about Abbott Labs, which has been working on a portable testing platform for coronavirus. Just within the last hour, got FDA approval for that platform and says it plans to test 50,000 people a day. Testing for the coronavirus is about to get a lot faster.
It's the size of a small kitchen appliance.
Abbott Labs, a pharmaceutical company with offices in the Bay Area, just got emergency authorization from the FDA for a point-of-care test to detect COVID-19.
It generates an accurate test result in a matter of minutes instead of hours or days. And that enables the healthcare provider to see a patient, diagnose a patient, and take the necessary interventions in a very short amount of time.
The test is portable on a 6.5-pound platform that's the size of a toaster and can turn results in minutes. Abbott now says it has FDA approval and will ramp up production with hopes to eventually produce up to 5 million tests per month. And Abbott says the first plan is to get it out to healthcare providers and urgent care centers. They say they should be available in about a week. Live in Santa Clara, Scott Budman, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, that is good news. Thank you, Scott. All right, listen to this. Coronavirus cases may peak in California by late April. That's the peak. That's according to new projections by a health research team at the University of Washington. The study estimates that new infections in California and across the nation will drop to 0 by mid-July. It also pinpoints when the state may face critical shortage of hospital resources. Senior investigative reporter Begat Shaban has been crunching the numbers, and he'll have a full report on those findings coming up tonight at 7 o'clock on our coronavirus special. The race for a vaccine still 12 to 18 months away, but there are some other drugs being tested right now that could help treat the critically ill.
Yeah, a word of warning here. There are a lot of bogus claims out there. Let's bring in Janelle Wang, who is working from home. Janelle, we hear all sorts of drugs and medicines that could help, but most of those are not valid. What do you have?
Yeah, right now we know a vaccine is still 12 to 18 months away, but some medicines are 3 to 4 months away, and they're going to be used to treat the sickest patients. I talked to Dr. John Torres today, NBC News medical correspondent, about those drugs being tested right now.
There's some medicines that are out there we're looking at right now. One of them is chloroquine, which is a malaria medicine, been around since the 1940s. They've used that in combination with an antibiotic that seems to help some people, but the big warning is not to take it on your own because that combination of those two drugs can cause heart arrhythmias, so they have to be very, very careful. On top of that, there's another medicine called remdesivir, which is an experimental medicine they use for Ebola, or at least tried to. They're using it here as well. And they're using a thing called convalescent serum, which is taking the blood from a patient who recovered from coronavirus, processing those antibodies and giving it to a patient who now is critically ill to help them fight off the disease. It's a very temporizing measure, only works for a few weeks, but it can get them past that severe part, get them recovering, and then hopefully bridge the gap until we get those medicines in 3 to 4 months.
As for the pandemic, Dr. Torres believes we could get over it by summertime if we do our part to flatten the curve. And as you know, I am working from home, and parents have given me advice that you need some structure for the kids to have some more stability at home. So after 5 days, I finally got my schedule. I got some ideas, and I'll have that for you next.
You're a step ahead of many of us. Thank you, Janelle. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Up next here at 5 o'clock, the USS Mercy. That's the hospital ship. Take a look. It's arrived in Los Angeles, who the governor is thanking for the added help.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Bernieri. Big changes for the weekend. We'll talk about that rain moving in and out, and I'll have a little something for you to maybe keep busy at home with. I'll explain. That's in about 7 minutes.
Take a look, docked and ready to provide some much-needed relief. This is time-lapse video of the USS Mercy. That's the hospital ship. It arrived in the port of L.A. earlier today. The ship has about 1,000 hospital beds. It'll be used to house patients who do not have COVID-19. And we know this. We are short of hospital beds, so this will help free up space in local hospitals for patients with the virus. Governor Newsom today was down in L.A. as the USS Mercy arrived. He praised President Trump for helping get the ship to Southern California.
This is time for partnership, not partisanship. As I said, open hand, not a clenched fist. He's our president, and every direct request that I've asked the President of the United States, he has been responsive and he has tried to accommodate. This is just one of many examples.
Months and years of fighting between the president and the governor, but not anymore, at least not during this pandemic. More than 800 Navy medical personnel and support staff are on board the USS Mercy. Well, back here at home, many people, of course, working from home, students learning from home, and this is going to be our new normal, we know, for at least a month.
Well, that includes our own Janelle Wang. She's finally got her system down, reporting from home. She's got Haley running around, and you finally got it down, and you're going to be back next week. But now you've got it for when you have to go back again.
Exactly. 1 week and she's already tougher to manage, and I found out from parental expert it's because we don't have a schedule, some structure. It's not only good for the kid, but it's also good for me to keep me sane. So I want to show it to you. We just developed our schedule today. It starts at 9 a.m. with breakfast, and then, you know, we have school at 10 a.m., recess, lunch, reading time, a daily activity like an art project or dance party, and then outside time. And trust me, there is screen time in the evening when mommy is done working and needs to wind down. And I've got a makeshift studio set up here. I want to show you. It has sofa cushions for a better sound quality and less echo, and a tripod for my camera, and then a laptop for my script. So I got it all down, so I'll be ready for next time, but it took a while to get used to. And back by popular demand, there's 4-year-old Haley. She just wanted to say bye and have a nice weekend.
Wait, here I am again, and now I need to talk to you, and I like you guys, but I also like, it's really important to keep the helmet on because...
Yeah, she really wants to talk about the helmet. Okay,
it's also the...
Thanks, guys. So
when there's a fire,
say bye. Have a nice weekend.
When there's a fire, you're like, hey!
She is ready for her close-up for sure.
Back to you.
Bye, Haley. Jessica, remember she was talking about the helmet on Tuesday, so this is like a reoccurring theme for her.
She is not going to be happy when you come back to work, that's for sure.
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Haley. Let's go outside on a beautiful Friday evening, and eerie but still beautiful, Jessica. Look at the Golden Gate Bridge. Not much traffic, but that's where we are right now.
All right, let's check in with our meteorologist, Jeff Ranieri. Jeff, you got some big shoes to fill there. Do you have something to say about a helmet?
I do not. I do have some activities for the kids this weekend we're going to share. She is just so cute. It's really fun to see Janelle there with her daughter. Our weather forecast this weekend, definitely going to have some folks inside, but who knows, maybe you're going to be able to take a little bit of break from the homeschooling or even from the work at home as well. Even though it's not going to totally feel like a regular weekend, maybe just give yourself a little time to go for a little jog in the morning, or just get even some fresh air outside, meditate a little bit. As we look at your forecast for tomorrow, we do have an isolated chance of a shower, but I don't think it's going to be super heavy. So you'd still be able to get out tomorrow morning and at least enjoy some of that, with temperatures in the 40s for the South Bay Peninsula and the Tri-Valley. Also down to 45 here for the East Bay. San Francisco 49, and the North Bay at 44. So overall, not quite as cold as we've been used to lately. And that's because as that cloud cover moves over, it's going to act like a blanket and keep our temperatures a little bit warmer. So we do have some spotty showers at 8 o'clock in the morning, but if you're okay with a few drops, you will still be able to get outside around 8 o'clock. I think the best time tomorrow is between 8 to 1 to try to get outside. As we hit the afternoon, we have these on again, off again chances of rain. But really this weekend, I want you to pay attention to this. By Sunday morning, that's when the rainfall looks like it would be the heaviest here, widespread with a slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm, maybe even some small hail as well. Total's not super big with this storm, but down here in the South Bay, we definitely could be getting in on a quarter to about a half inch for the Santa Cruz Mountains. the valley of the South Bay at about 1/4 of an inch, and lesser amounts as you head off to the north. So here's what I've done on my extended forecast. We have that chance of rain Saturday and Sunday. Then we'll begin to dry out as we hit Monday all the way through next week. And for the inland valleys, it's going to be chilly, only 58 tomorrow, so you need the jacket, also the umbrella. But then look at this, some warmer 70s by next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So much, much warmer, and that'll give us all a nice boost. But here's the deal with that chance of rain tomorrow. Check this out. This is for all the kids, the parents, or even the weather nerds. It's how to make your own rain gauge, and you're going to be able to test it out this weekend. What you need is a 2-liter bottle, 6 inches of masking tape, and a ruler, okay? Those 3 things. What you do is cut the top of that 2-liter bottle off. Then you take that masking tape and you add the markings from the ruler on it up to about 5 inches. And then what you do is take the top of the bottle, invert it, add 1 inch of water to keep this from tipping over. And then you're going to take that masking tape and you're going to start it at the bottom of the water. And then you're going to place it all the way up the bottle. And then what happens is as that rain moves over, it's going to collect this and you're going to be able to reset that after each and every rain event. So all you need is a 2-liter bottle, a ruler, and some masking tape, and you're going to be able to make your own rain gauge and test it out this weekend. And I know that was a lot to take in.
That is really cool.
I posted it on Jeff Ranieri, NBC. Yeah, so all the parents and the kids can get all this stuff together. Yeah, even if you don't get to it this weekend, you can try it for the next storm in a couple of weeks.
Okay, Jessica, Jeff, I will be doing that with my 11-year-old Saturday and Sunday this weekend. That was really cool. Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff's going to make one for me. Coming up, people might be staying in, but the police, they are out in force. The uptick in violations that's keeping them very busy during this lockdown. Tonight, a new push to solve a mysterious San Francisco murder and kidnapping. SFPD has announced a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest in the murder of Nicole Fitz and her toddler's disappearance. 2.5-year-old Ariana Fitz was last seen in February of 2016, 2 months before police found her mother's body in San Francisco's McLaren Park. This is an age progression sketch of what Ariana might look like today. Investigators are urging anyone with any information to come forward.
Traffic around the Bay Area is minimal. Feels like Thanksgiving morning all the time, but the CHP is still very busy. Let's take a live look outside right now. This is the 280-17 interchange in the South Bay. Usually, if you know this part of town, it is jam-packed, especially during the commute hours, but hardly anyone out there right now, and that's good. The CHP, though, says traffic is so light, people are speeding. In fact, they tweeted out this photo of several tickets being issued, including one person going more than 100 miles per hour. Don't do that. Reminder/warning here, the CHP is out in full force, and yes, giving out tickets. All right, up next, showing support in a big way, how South Bay teachers, Jessica, are coming through for medical workers.
Yay!
Tonight at 6 o'clock, we're 2 weeks in, and experts around the country say the Bay Area is doing a good job social distancing so far. But what about cabin fever? It's going to hit us if it hasn't already. You've got some tips. We've got some tips to get you through the weekend. That story and more coming up on our 6 o'clock newscast.
Also coming up next on Nightly News with Lester Holt, the danger to delivery drivers, the problem they want fixed, and that they're willing to strike over. Lester Holt joins us in just in a minute.
And as part of our coverage through this crisis, we are focusing a lot lot on how people are helping each other. Today, schools cleaning out their classrooms to see how they can use some leftover supplies for something good.
Yeah, check this out. It was sent to us by teachers and staff in San Jose's Oak Grove School District. Teachers came up with a treasure trove of sanitizing wipes and hand sanitizers. They donated the supplies to Good Sam Hospital in San Jose. Isn't that great? Classrooms are always filled with all those things. At the beginning of the year, most parents donated to the teachers, so it's great that the teachers are now donating it to Good Sam.
Everything adds up. You think you have a little supply, but you combine it with other people or other schools, and it adds up. So
Totally.
It is something nice. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, send it over to Lester Holt for nightly news, and then we'll be back at 6 o'clock for more local news, 90 minutes worth. Good night.